Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to my channel. My name is Shea, but you can call me Shea, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my braid out routine. So I'm starting off on dry and stretched hair. I like to make sure my hair is dry and as stretched as possible just to avoid any shrinkage throughout this process. And I'm splitting my hair into 4 sections, the same 4 sections I always do. And so I'm getting my first section a little bit wet, not too wet or drenched or nothing like that, because as I said before, I'm trying to avoid shrinkage. And I'm going to split that section in half, clip up the top part of that section, and I'm going to begin working with the bottom section. So I'm going to start by adding in my oil mixture. I've used this in every video I've made so far. I'm saying every like I made so many, but in my last 2 videos I used this oil mixture, focusing it mainly on the ends because, as I say, the ends are the elderly members of the community. They are the oldest pieces of your hair, so they definitely need extra love and attention. So I'm going to continue getting that nice and evenly distributed throughout this section, and then I'm going to begin by grabbing my first product once I split this section in half. So my first product is the Curl Stretch Pudding from the Red Palm Oil and Cocoa Butter with Flaxseed Oil line by Shea Moisture. So this is a pretty thick product, so you don't need a lot of it. I'm just using a nice little bit for my first section, and I'm getting that nice and evenly distributed throughout my ends, roots, and the rest of my hair. And then on top of that, I'm going to grab the styling jelly from the same exact line. I really like this styling jelly, guys, because it's not too thick and it doesn't really weigh down your hair, and it's also not sticky at all. Sticky gels are like the death of me, like no. So this one, if you're looking for something really light but it'll still give you some definition, this is definitely a good product for you. So here I'm going to start my braiding process. The major key to a nice and defined braid out is having even sections in your braid. So what I mean by that is sometimes when you're braiding your hair, if one section is smaller than the other 2, you'll have to borrow from those other 2 sections in order to complete your braid. Now when you do that, that makes your takedown process so much frizzier and so much messier. If you don't get it now, then you're gonna see when I actually start taking down my braids, it's just a mess when you do it like that. So definitely, if you put in the work now, the result is gonna be worth it, I promise y'all. So make sure that your sections are as even as possible before you start braiding, and that they're nice and detangled, and that will just make your braid out 10 times better. I'm telling y'all, if you don't believe me, like, it'll be a blessing to you. This is a major key. If your braids look good, then your braid out is probably gonna look good. Like, if your braids are nice and shiny, real juicy, real just popping, then you know your braid out. That's just a preview. That's just foreshadowing. And then I'm going to grab some more of my oil, and I'm going to run that on the entirety of my hair. And once I finish doing that, I'm going to throw on my bonnet and I'm going to go to sleep like that. So now it is the next day. I'm taking off my bonnet. My braids did shrink up a little bit, but look, I know how to take care of that. I can always stretch my hair, and I'm going to do that later on. So here I'm splitting my hair in half and grabbing my oil. When you take down braids or twists or bantu knots or any type of style that you're doing, you want to make sure that you have some type of oil on your hands just to reduce frizz as you start taking down your hair. Dry hands with dry hair is just a dry mess. So you want to make sure you have some type of oil on your hands just to reduce frizz and keep your hair nice and shiny. And just, you don't want to just get rid of all of the work you put in for definition by frizzing your hair up now. Like, come on now. So I'm going to continue taking down my braids, being as gentle as possible to, once again, avoid frizz, as I've said 20 times already. And here you're going to see why my major key component from before was so important. As you can see, taking down these braids, I can usually just grab the 2 outer sections of the braid, pull them apart, and the entire braid will come down. It makes this takedown process so much easier. It keeps my the definition of my braids intact. Like, they ain't going nowhere. Like, each section, you can see each section right then and there. Like, it's all there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, it's hard to explain, but you guys can see. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to continue taking down my braids until I'm all done. And now I'm just showing you guys the definition that I have. Very little frizz, lots of shine, lots of bounce. It's just everywhere it needs to be. So here I'm starting my separation process. And when I separate my hair, I like to separate it a good amount, but still keep the a little bit of the curl definition, if that makes sense. So I separated it a lot more than probably a lot of people do, but not to the extent where there's no curl left. So if you don't like your hair as big as mine, then you don't have to separate as much. And if you like it even bigger and frizzier and bouncier, if that's you, then you can separate even more than I do. It's just all up to what you want to do. So if you're not extra, you can leave it at this. But if you're me and you do the most, then you're going to want to stretch your hair. So I split my hair into 4 sections, as I always do, so I can start my stretching process. So today I'm going to be using the African threading method, and with this method you just wrap the thread around the base of the section, and then you wrap it all the way down the length of the hair, and once you finish doing that, you wrap it around the end of the section. So I'm going to do 4 of those, throw my scarf on for 20 minutes, and now I'm back. That was fast, but now I'm back and I'm taking down my threads, and as you can see, my curls are nice and elongated, but the curls are still there. And also, as you can see, my hair looks real flat, and that's just not what we like to see. So I'm going to grab my makeshift pick. I didn't have a pick. I don't know where my pick went. So I'm just picking out the roots, shaking my hair out, picking it out more with my hands just to get it as fluffy as I want. Whatever your heart desires, you just do that. So this is pretty much how my braid out will look on a usual basis. And if you're extra, once again, you're going to want to lay your edges just a little bit, because that's just what we do. So I'm taking the Murray's Edge Wax Extra Hold, because ain't nothing regular about my hair and it needs extra everything. So, and then this is basically just how I go to sleep. So I'll just take a scarf and pull it back into a ponytail, and that's how I'll keep this style for a few days. So thank you guys for watching. That concludes my braid out routine. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't. Like, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you really doing? And so make sure that you go into the description box below and you check out my last video. Thank you guys for watching again. Bye.